reflection in the mirror to make sure I erased all remnants of whiskers. I wonder, what's the chance Beyonce is also standing in her bathroom, shaving her neck beard? It would be comforting to know that Beyonce has facial hair, or that she's thrown cookies in the trash out of disgust for eating so many, only to eat said cookies an hour later. Or that at networking events, she spits on people at an alarming rate and has to awkwardly watch them how to awkwardly decide how to deal with that spittle. Or that the Jewel Deli lady asked her, "What can I get you, sir?" There's a reason an Us Weekly recurring feature is stars, they're just like us. We devour the knowledge that Jennifer Lopez rides a bike and Bette Midler shops at Target. But how about a photo of Halle Berry pretending to get an emergency text on a horrible first date? Tom Brokaw gloomily pulling up sweatpants because his jeans no longer fit. Julia Roberts popping a pimple. George Clooney cursing and out of breath at the top of the platform stairs, having just missed the L. Perhaps it's silly to be comforted by Beyonce whispering to Jay-Z's mother, their second time meeting, at Christmas dinner no less, "Do you have a plunger?" But gosh darn it, would it make me feel better if I had hypothetically clogged my boyfriend's mother's hypothetical toilet, our second time meeting, at Christmas dinner no less, and had to hypothetically whisper, "Do you have a plunger?" The chicken noodle soup realization that you're not the only one to have had challenges, embarrassment, missteps, that you're not alone, encourages growth of that elusive love, self-love. It took me 18 years to start to accept myself, longer to start to like myself. My 6th grade science teacher noted on my progress report, "Saya's doing well. I only wish she'd get more involved with class." Involved is underlined. My math, music, French, current affairs, and social studies teachers echoed those same sentiments. Why would I willingly put myself in front of the middle school firing squad? I was fat, of a confusing skin tone, and wore shoes from Payless. I tried to be anyone but Saya. I was this close to changing my name to the name that in my mind epitomized normalcy, Alexis. I wore Umbros, I tight-rolled my jeans, I bought Paula Abdul singles, but regardless of my attempts to fit in, I rarely did. I have a father I've never met and know little about. According to the internet, Gino Ford is the basketball coach at Bradley University and was Ohio's Mr. Basketball in 1993. Seeing that he was born 4 years before me, I don't think Mr. Basketball 1993 is my Gino Ford. My Gino Ford does not appear to be Googleable. Upon learning I had never met him, my 4th grade student lightly put her fingertips on my arm, as if you would do when you were passing on condolences, and whispered, "You should go on the Maury Povich show. He helps people find their dads." When my 10-year-old cousin saw the Obama for Senate sign in my window, she exclaimed, "Maybe he's your father." I have a mother whose love of independence, Nietzsche, and Native American philosophies, and her subsequent refusal to own a car, TV, microwave, had me in a constant state of, "You're ruining my life." She gave birth to me in an apartment, alone, on purpose. She made my clothes. She biked and CTA'd us everywhere. She shopped the farmer's market instead of Dominic's and brought her own bags. She fed me impossible to spread organic peanut butter. She refused a preferred shopper card because she didn't want the government knowing her shopping habits. She refused an office job and became a self-taught organic gardener. She refused to comb my hair, resulting in an untamed biracial afro. So most of the time, I wanted to be invisible. Though less frequent, that self-doubt continued into adulthood. Like when I was the featured guest at a play's Q&A, and when the curtain closed, 99% of the audience exited, leaving behind my boyfriend and a few silver-haired ladies to ask questions. Like when I was biking down Lincoln, and a guy crossing shouted to his buddies, "Watch out for that fat bitch!" Like when I got fired. But in 2011, the discomfort in my own skin dissipated as never before. 2 years into dating, boyfriend and I's relationship was my first "this is how it should be" relationship. I loved how he regularly called and texted, ignoring the wait 3 days rule. How he used words like temporal and penultimate as if that was everyday vocabulary. How he had never once been late. How he came from a foreign land, the South. How his mother's "wearing blue really brings out the blue in your eyes" observation when he was a child regularly made its way into his adult outfit decision-making. How, when we were together, his phone stayed in his pocket. How he said interstate instead of highway, equator instead of equator. How through his ability to teach improv comedy, he could get the scared, the timid, the rigid to do what they never thought they could. How his chipmunk cheeks were so nibbleable. How we flirted with one another by sharing the latest productivity apps. How when we had issues, he right away initiated, "Let's talk." How the number of stars he gave a restaurant was based on whether or not they offered free refills. How the least narcissistic person in the world inserted his name into every song he sang. Left a good Pete in the city, working for the Pete every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of Pete'in', worrying about the way Pete's might have been. Big wheel, keep on Pete'in'. Proud Mary, keep on Pete'in'. Pete'in', Pete'in', Pete'in' on the river. We had a 6-month span of non-stopness, and thus our 2011 Asheville, North Carolina vacation came at a perfect time. We were ready to breathe. After a morning of terrifying mountains and terrifying lizards, us Chicagoans, used to flatness and pigeons, perspired our way to the end of our last hiking trail. Our reward, a storybook waterfall. I suggested a photo. Mr. I usually eye roll about photos said, "Why don't we go up there?" pointing to an overlook. I thought weird, shrugged, and said, "Okay." Literally on top of the world, it seemed, up in the clouds, boyfriend and I rested on the wooden railing and silently breathed. After a few minutes, he began to look around. The kind of looking around you do when you're about to do something you don't want others to know about. Oh great, I thought. He's about to fart. He took a few more glances, then said, "I like taking trips with you. Will you take more trips with me?" His fingers came into my focus. And in them a ring. I leaned back as if the shiny thing was kryptonite and I Superman, and my eyes filled. Growing up, I wanted to be Alexis. From Boston College, perhaps the most white Irish Catholic place on earth outside of Ireland, where a biracial Ukrainian African atheist utterly stuck out. Up through today, my mid-30s, the happiest I've ever been. The spontaneous travel, being my own boss, Tuesday 10 a.m., Trader Joe's and yoga. Even as I struggle with family, weight, professional rejection, each day I increasingly embrace being Saya. When Pete proposed, I was sweaty, smelly, in spandex, many pounds heavier than I wanted to be, with frizzy hair and fuzzy legs. Perhaps not a girl's ideal engagement. Yet, though I didn't know it beforehand, it was mine. It is a gift to tell someone that you want to be with her forever, just as she is. And suddenly she no longer cares if Beyonce also has a neck beard.